Good evening. Greetings to all of you on this, the Sunday evening, precisely the 4th of February, February the 4th of the current Gregorian year, 2024. When I was a young pupil of jurisprudence, I remember learning that to aid, abate, counsel, or procure an offence constitutes an offence per se by itself. Certain jurisprudence also term such an action as to solicit a crime. I also remember learning that if someone with the companion of another person jointly commits a crime, it constitutes the crime of conspiracy. If there is also a group of people who intentionally and jointly commit a crime, all the members of the group become offenders, even if a single person from that particular group commits a particular offence in company of the other companions in question. I also had to learn that if someone knowingly sells or provides a weapon, anything which is likely to kill or to maim, to cause grievous bodily harm or some kind of wrong, considered to be an offence, become also an offender, or becomes in singular, or they become offenders in plural. So I'm obliged to raise the question upon my own mind, as well as all due respect and sincerity upon the minds of all the viewers of this live telecasting and the video which may be recorded and played thereafter. Why should it be any different when a state abates or aids or encourages another state or a group of people to commit crimes against another state in killing innocent people or abducting them or taking them as hostage? Why should it be any different if a group of people residing in a certain country carry out some kind of offences, even in the international water, against certain countries which are not practically or even at law, I mean, which countries are neither de jure nor de facto enemy states? I remember that this was the law, and it is possible, even probable, that the law remains unchanged. That when pirates who carry out piracy in the high seas are taken as prisoners by law, lawful prisoners, they can be tried by any state and even penalized very seriously, even by execution. Therefore, I do not understand why would it be any different when groups of people residing in a certain country are carrying out atrocities against merchant ships of countries which are totally impartial. At the same time, I also fail to understand why that particular state or those particular states which aid, abet, procure or counsel the commission of such offences, or encourage a certain group or groups of people to commit such offences, will not be answerable at law, even befitting natural justice. I am not surprised that certain mighty states are carrying out their lawful and legitimate powers to exercise and to ensure that justice is done against those groups of people who are answerable at this very moment for carrying out serious offences against neutral countries or their fleet or even their merchant ships. Many years ago, I remember when late President Ronald Reagan was in office. A case known, and I apologize for mispronouncing the name because my knowledge of Italian is extremely unsound, extremely limited, even ignorable. But I believe the ship which gave rise to a certain case or a precedent known as Achille Laurus, when certain American citizens were killed by people considered to be terrorists, the late President Ronald Reagan ordered the American Air Force to intercept certain individuals who were responsible, who encouraged such offences or such particular offence to be committed against the citizens of the United States of America. Therefore, I cannot and do not take any offence carried out by certain mighty states today in ensuring, or at least in attempting to ensure, that piracy or even missile attacks by certain terrorist groups be discouraged. At the same time, my conscience compels me to conclude that that particular state, that dictatorial state, the tyrannical state, which oppresses, persecutes, and indeed massacres its own citizens, including women and children, which provided weapons to a particular terrorist groups, be held accountable and answerable. International law does not justify terrorism, nor does it justify invasion against, or I should say invasion into, another member state without the sanction of the Security Council. One thing I do understand, with all due sadness, due pains in my heart, that the 7th of October of the Gregorian year 2023 did not merely bring tragedy, but brought grave distress among the law-abiding citizens of the State of Israel, the citizens of the Friends of Israel, and all law-abiding citizens of the world. I believe that the group known as Hamas would never have ventured to commit such crimes on 7th of October 2023 unless the group had backing from other states. Perhaps two of the very powerful states, powerful member states of the United Nations organization, who wanted to divert the attention of the world from Eastern Europe, from Northeastern Asia, and from other parts of the world to the Middle East. This is my errand. On this particular night, crossing from the 24th, I beg your pardon, crossing from the 4th into the 5th of February 2024. While I bid all of you a solemn night.